that whole Rosa Parks thing was a fluke.
You're tripping me out. Dude, hold on. Go back. You just told me you grew up in the Jim Crow era, you grew up on a plantation, and you're still, wait, how does racism not exist? Please, because I want to hear this. I'm genuinely interested in this side of your opinion here.
During those days, black people and white people understood that our battle was a spiritual battle, that it was a warfare between good and evil. There's evil in some people, there's good in others. And evil hate good. And it had nothing to do with color, it had nothing to do with male or female, it was just right or wrong. And so we knew that the Jim Crow era was about the Democrats not wanting blacks to be a part of the Democratic Party. And that's why the Republican Party was started by blacks and white, because they started their own party and couldn't be a part of the Democratic Party. Even with the KKK, they were not fighting the blacks because of their color. They were fighting them because when they started the Republican Party, they became congressmen, they became leaders in the government, and they were gathering a lot of power. And so the KKK and others were fighting them for political reason, not color reason. It was only later in life that they ventured to office and said it's about color. It never was. And so the blacks and the whites knew it was about spiritual, that you either have anger or you have love in your heart. And so the blacks and the whites got along that knew that. It was only when Martin Luther King and all those guys came along and they created a false idea of racism. They created the civil rights movement in order to divide and conquer for power and wealth for themselves. Even Rosa Parks' thing was a fluke because they had another woman to do that thing that Rosa Parks was supposed to have done on the bus. And the NAACP had found another black woman to do that, but before she could do it, they found out she was pregnant out of wedlock. And in those days, it was an embarrassment to be pregnant out of wedlock. And they were like, no, we can't use this woman pregnant. And so they got rid of her and they found Rosa, and it was a setup.
But
isn't that amazing?